Hi guys. So I'm back and yeah, I'm really happy. I'm at my man's house currently. He's back from Poland. He just got back last night and he took me straight from my apartment to his apartment and he bought me this really cute skincare product. It's written in Polish. I don't know if you can see it, but it seems super expensive, but it's really nice. He knows I love skincare, so yeah, I'm really happy. And I also got some cakes that his mum baked me that I've been chomping down at the bit. So yeah, I'm in a great mood today. How are you guys? Honestly, today I just really wanted to talk about black women in marriage. Now, I know you guys may know my hair is different. I actually got a silk press, which I'm loving. I'm loving, by the way, because obviously, as you know, if you're a black woman, sometimes managing your hair can be too much. So this was really nice. Just getting all of this done. This was lovely. Like it was beautiful. And I'm thinking of getting my hair texturized or either getting keratin treatment. So yeah, I'm just loving it. Okay, so today what I really wanted to talk about was the obsession that black women have with marriage. And this is not just like this is not just black women in the diaspora, black women in America or UK or Europe. I'm talking about black African women as well. There's this mad obsession with marriage, this demon obsession with marriage. And I'm not sure why, because a lot of people are in terrible marriages, literally, where either one person is doing everything and another person is doing nothing, or both people don't even agree on things and aren't even compatible in terms of life values and core beliefs. But on top of that, also people are literally like killing themselves because of this. So like I actually watched a documentary on Christine Chubbuck, and I don't know if you guys know who that is, but and now she's not a black woman, but this is actually a very good example of just how deep it can be and how people can actually allow this issue of marriage to literally drive them into depression and anxiety and just death if you're not careful. And this lady, she literally in 1970 picked up a gun on live television and blew herself to bits because she was depressed over her lack of relationships. Now, I think a lot of black women nowadays are allowing these male-centric content spaces and these male-centric content creators, because that's what I'm gonna call them. That's what I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna waste my energy referring to particular parts of YouTube. But I think a lot of black women are allowing these content creators and these spaces to put fear into them. And you really don't need to be afraid, because the worst thing that you can do is to be with someone who's not suitable for you. And you know what I've realized is when you lower your quality, like when you lower your standard in who you want and what you want, you're actually lowering your quality of life. And most people that are in marriages that are unhappy are either in marriages with people they never wanted to truly, really marry, or they're in marriages with people who weren't what they thought they were initially. And I've realized that black women are really afraid of this phrase, dying alone. Like, you don't need to be afraid of that. That's a bullshit phrase, first of all, because most people don't really die with someone beside them. Like, I feel you'd be very fortunate to actually die with someone beside you. It's actually really common for people to die and for someone not to be there for a while. Most bodies, I'm guessing, are probably discovered in a certain time period, but it's not like you're guaranteed. Like, how many married couples really die at the same time, or even one of them may even be present when the other one dies? There's so many people that they die and their spouse is like halfway across the world on a business trip, or you could even be at work and you die. Like, and nobody knows when that's gonna happen. So this whole dying alone thing is just so ridiculous, because even if you do have someone beside you, they're not going to experience the death for you. You're still going to die. Yeah, they can hold your hand. That will feel good, but then you're going to experience it yourself. They're not going to be buried in the coffin with you. So this whole dying alone thing is just a scaremongering tactic. And if you can see through that, you can, you're less likely to develop all this anxiety and depression over these blanket statements. And as far as I'm concerned, obviously I just mentioned the case of Christine Chubbuck. She was a white lady, she was American. But I do see this happening with black women so much. Obsession, this obsession with wanting to be married by all means necessary. And let's not act like the generation before us had the best marriages, because a lot of these women suffered in silence. They were miserable, effing miserable. They were, a lot of them were. They were miserable, but they wanted to keep the family together. Now, this is not to say that marriage is a terrible thing. Marriage is a great thing when you find the right person. But when you marry someone, and most women, a lot of them, I'm realizing, it's not even just about the money. It's not about the money. It's not about the love. A lot of women I'm seeing are actually divorcing their husbands. And I think it is women that tend to initiate divorces the most. But I think a lot of women are divorcing their husbands. And the primary complaint seems to be the fact that the man just does not help around the house. He doesn't do anything around the house. And the woman is essentially still working 40 hours a week. And she's still cleaning and cooking. And she has to be your own personal pleasure slave or maid or whatever. And then you're still not able to even do the basic chores. It starts feeling a little bit like she's got a kid in a husband. And a lot of women are just not interested in that anymore, because if you're going to be doing everything on your own, then you might as well be single. And that's the mindset that a lot of women have. And a lot of women aren't afraid to be single. But it really does say, being a single mother isn't something that anybody really wants to do. Nobody really gets married or has a baby with the mindset of being a single mother unless that's specifically what they want. But I think there's a massive, massive, massive issue in the fact that most women would rather make themselves single mothers than continue in the terrible relationships that they're in. Like, they would rather take that risk. That's crazy, because it's a risk. To make yourself a single mother is a risk, because you're obviously decreasing the resources in your household. You're decreasing the parental support and guidance that child will have. You're decreasing another whole side of your heritage that the child needs in their life. But the woman would rather take that risk than spend another moment with that guy. Then there must be something seriously wrong. Now, this is not to say that, all women are amazing and all women are good and every woman does everything right. That's not true. That's obviously not what I'm trying to say. But this obsession with marriage that black women seems to have, that usually ends up, in a lot of black marriages, especially in the Western world, they don't really turn out the way that a lot of people want. A lot of the marriages that people glorify in the black community are marriages from, the African countries, or marriages from previous generations, like in the 70s, 60s, where times were different and women didn't have as many rights and options and opportunities in terms of finances and work and, just being able to choose where to go to school, that kind of thing, especially black women. Remember, black women didn't have nearly as many opportunities as white women in the Western world. So it just seems like, honestly, if you're not going to be with someone who is literally going to make you enrich your life and make you happier to be with them, then you might as well just be on your own. And there's nothing wrong with being on your own. In fact, every time I've been single, I've been incredibly happy. But that doesn't mean that, I didn't want to find someone I loved or I wanted to be with. But that doesn't mean I was miserable when I was on my own. I loved it. It was great because I only had to worry about myself and I only had to think about what I wanted, and a lot of people demonize being single, and there's this fear of being single, which is so ridiculous because we literally come into the world single. Our status is single. Literally, the natural status of a human being is to be single. Like, that's the natural status. You have to make effort to couple up with someone, but that's not the natural status. Things have to come together. You actually have to make effort. But your natural status is being single as a human being. Before you marry someone and meet someone, you're always going to be single, right? You're never going to be married before you get married. So it just seems crazy to me that there's this obsession with people who want to get married, and especially black women in the black community. Marriage is revered. Oh my God, marriage is revered so much. And I'm probably a bit of a hypocrite because obviously me and my partner are planning on getting married. I'm probably a little bit of a hypocrite in that part. And we've actually been discussing. He's introduced. We've had the introduction. He's met my parents. We're planning on me going down to see his mom, and we've discussed everything. We're discussing the venue of our wedding. He's seen my. We've decided on my engagement ring. But that doesn't mean that if he wasn't the right person for me, that I'd be getting. If he wasn't the right person for me, I'd be as single as hell. Like, genuinely, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. But with black women, there's this obsession, and they allow these fear-mongering statements. Oh, get a dog. Oh, get a cat. There's nothing wrong with those animals, first of all. There's nothing wrong. Plenty of people have dogs and cats. Plenty of married couples have dogs and cats. Plenty of families have dogs and cats. So I'm not really sure what that whole stupid statement is about. It doesn't make sense, much like the people who speak them. But as I was going to say, I just find it weird that black women allow themselves to be fear-mongered by these things. And a lot of these marriages that black women are even in are just terrible. Do you know how many married men are on dating apps? I showed you guys in my previous videos, I had about 2,000 likes on a dating app. I had so many, I would say like a quarter of, I'm guessing a quarter of my contacts or my messages were probably from men already in relationships who had made profiles, because I noticed that a lot of profiles just disappear. It's a lot of fake people on dating apps. Now, I did have a lot of messages from wonderful, amazing men. There was a guy that even bought me a ticket to go to an Arya Star concert. That was pretty cool. I did not decide to go to the concert with him because I saw my current man and I liked him more. But there are so many people literally in relationships on dating apps, so many marriages and so many, unhappy marriages. And it just honestly boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. Like, why? Seriously. Okay, I need to chill out. But why? Why are black women so obsessed? It's like, if you don't get married, all your other achievements are like, what? Do you know that some people, the only thing they will ever do in their life is get married? That's it. They will never achieve anything, not even one decent job, not even one kobo in their bank account. But to get married is their massive achievement. That's nuts to me. Like, don't get me wrong. Marriage is beautiful when it's with someone that you actually want to spend the rest of your life with, who compliments you, who builds you, who loves and supports you, who wants to build a life with you, who makes your life better, who makes your life happier. But not just marriage for the sake of marrying. Jesus. Anyway, my Niger girl is coming out, but you understand what I'm trying to say. This whole obsession with marriage, and if I don't marry, then I'm not a woman, or if I don't, like, I'm sorry, but do you know how many women out there have relationship trauma? And this is why a lot of women get romance scammed. Now, this is not to say that men don't get romance scammed, but a lot of women, I notice, with men, it's always because they're obsessed with just being with a woman that's younger, and they just want to have a woman that's younger, that's hotter, and But with women, it's always because they feel that they're lonely, or they feel that they need to be with someone. And this is why it's really easy for especially older women to get a romance scammed. It's easier for older people in general, but oh my God, older women. I follow this channel called Catfished. And if you see, every single minute, one old woman like that is getting romance scammed. I'm like, like, this is why. This is essentially why. This is why it's so easy. And it's because there's this obsession. With being married, even when the marriages are rubbish. And you want to stay married by all means necessary. You will endure the most ridiculous and painful abuse. The most unbelievable financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, just to say that you're a wife, just to say that you're married. Like, there's something not right, the way I feel like a lot of women get married thinking it's going to be, like a Disney fairy tale. But even if you look at proper fairy tales, those marriages were not straightforward. Okay, look at Swan Princess. Look at Odette from Swan Princess. Didn't she turn into a swan and almost die? And then her stupid fiance had to realize that there was more to her than her looks so that she wouldn't die. when the evil guy turned her into a swan. Like, there's so many. If you look at these Disney storytales properly, these marriages were not straightforward. Even in Disney fairy tales, Cinderella went through hell before she got married. She even had to like literally run away, and one of her shoes went missing, and she literally turned back into rags. So like everybody acts as if, marriage is just going to be a fairy tale, but there's nowhere on this planet that marriage is a fairy tale. But that doesn't mean that you need to get married for the sake of being married. If you're going to get married because the person actually wants to build a life with you. They love you. They want to take care of you, and you want to take care of them, and you want to build life together on shared goals, dreams, hopes, beliefs. You have to have the same core values and the same belief system. It's super important. You can't be an atheist and say you want to get married to a Catholic and then you want to raise kids and the atheist is looking at you like you're a mad person when you tell your child to start praying. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and I just don't understand this obsession that Black women are having these days. Especially, African women, especially Nigerian women, they've always been obsessed with marriage. But I am seeing this in the diaspora so much. In America, they're so obsessed with marriage. Black women in UK, they're so obsessed with marriage. It's like, are you even really sure about the person that you're getting married to? And believe me, I've actually asked this question about myself and my own intent on marrying so many times. I'm constantly vetting myself. I'm constantly thinking, am I really okay with this? Do I want to go through with this? And every time I think to myself, yes. And I'm very true to myself. And I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to, getting married, it's just a milestone that they want to cross, but it's not necessarily the right person, but it's like this, they want to just get through that societal milestone. They want to get through that, they want to cross that, they want to experience that tradition, that societal norm, and they're doing it even though it may not necessarily be with the right person or the person that they really want. A lot of women are, or even guys in general, like just lowering the idea of who they want just to say they want to be married. And it honestly does not surprise me that there are so many divorces these days. I'm genuinely not surprised. Why would I be surprised? And I'm talking as someone who, my parents have been married for 40 years. And yes, their marriage wasn't perfect, but as a child, I saw my parents happier. I saw my parents more happy than I saw them arguing. And I think that's a massive win, because you can't ever really be 100% happy all the time. But I saw my parents more happy than I ever saw them angry with each other or miserable with each other. I always saw them joking together all the time. Even when they would have squabbles, eventually the squabbles would end up in jokes, And it really made me to understand. My parents set a high bar, essentially, they did. But it really made me to understand that marriage is really a great thing when it's with someone that you actually want to be married to, like that you genuinely want to spend your life with. Not when you're just doing it so that you can say that you're married, or so that you can tell society, if you can avoid society bullying you into getting married. Because society does, tend to bully a lot of people into getting married. But who is society? We are society, And I feel like Black women really need to just try and slow the roll. You should be happy to be married to someone that, you really believe is the right person for you. But it shouldn't be, oh my God, I must be married by all means necessary. And if I don't get married, because I hear literally even some of my friends going, oh my God, I must be married by 30. If I don't get married by 30, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, seriously? So what happens if you're not married by 30? Are you going to, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, is that going to be the end? Like, I don't understand. It's so crazy. Or, or I see people saying, oh my God, my sister's getting married before me. I must get married before my sister. What? Like, the fuck? The fuck? Like, sorry. But honestly, I don't understand that. Like, what? What even is that? It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, this is really just what I was thinking about today. I love doing these sit-down videos with you. I love doing these sit-down videos with you. They're fun. And honestly, can you guys just drop in the comments why Black women are so obsessed with marriage? And I actually want to hear from Black women. I'm not interested in too much in hearing from Black men that are obsessed with looking up black women and trying to find something negative because you have severe problems if that's what you're doing. But I just really want to hear about what people think about, black marriages, and just like not just black marriages, like just black women being obsessed with marriage. And just, although to be fair, I would say women tend to be thinking about marriage a lot, but I don't know, I've just noticed that African women, black women in diaspora are very obsessed. So yeah, it would be great if someone could shed some light on why this is, because someone would tell me why. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. So I hope you guys are well. I want to do another video on black women and plastic surgery because I'm noticing that is a mad trend. I never was interested in getting plastic surgery ever. It's not like I don't have the money. I have property, I have an apartment, I have a business, I have a good career. I could get plastic surgery if I wanted, but I wasn't interested. I was never interested in plastic surgery because I've been able to do everything I wanted for my life without having to change anything about my body or my face. So why would I do that? Why would I change my body or my face when I've been able to get whatever I wanted looking the way I do anyway? But yeah, I've noticed that there's a massive trend with plastic surgery. Everyone used to ask me, do you want a nose job? And I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And now I'm just like, no, this is my heritage. This is me. This is who I am. But I've noticed that black women are obsessed with plastic surgery, especially in a particular space. But maybe that's social media making it look like black women are obsessed. I'm sure there are lots of natural black women out there that are not doing plastic surgery. But specifically BBLs and tummy tucks, lipo, gastric bypass, gastric sleeves. Yeah, that seems to be a whole new thing, like as a way to literally just, instead of weight loss, they're actually taking these plastic surgery procedures as like weight loss gimmicks or procedures, which is nuts. But yeah, I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to discuss that more, guys, because that is another thing I want to talk about. That is mad to me. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys are having a great day. I am just loving my hair. It's just so beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Have a great day. It's sunny here. But yeah, I will be back. I don't know when, but I will. You know what it is. Everything I do it big. I need to stop playing around. Okay, guys. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah. Bye.